Hi, guys. Welcome to the Deciding Factor Extra. I'm John.
I'm Alton.
And I'm Barb.
And along with us is Nick. He is going to be featured on one of our other podcasts, the actual main one, and it's going to be all about Bitcoins and if it's really the time to get in or get out. Make sure you stay tuned for that one. But for today, guys, I am going to throw a curveball. This is going to be a new skit for us. It is going to be Dates Gone Bad. So stay tuned because this will get weird really quick. Guys, this is the Deciding Factor Extra.
Bringing you their thoughts on today's news and current events. Coming to you from Austin, Texas, this is the Deciding Factor Extra. With your hosts, Alton Hill and John Herzog.
All right, guys. Like I said, today's segment is Dates Gone Bad. So I don't know if you're going to be able to play, Alton, because you have married the only girl you dated, right?
That's right. And I don't take her out on dates, so pretty much no bad dates here. Right.
What about daddy-daughter dates? You got any bad ones?
We're working on those. Yeah, I'm not going to go there. But yeah.
All right. So, Nick, I'll give you the option. I can go first or you can go first.
Well, I mean, to be honest, in this sort of pre-show amble we were having here, I kind of gave away my cards. So I got nothing to hold to my chest at this point. So I think you guys should level the playing field a little bit and go first if you don't mind.
Okay.
Although his is going to be a lot to beat, John. So go ahead.
Oh, I don't know. Okay, so I'm going to set the scene. So I'm going on this date, and she asked me to come pick her up at her apartment. Mom, if you're watching, no, I didn't go over there just to screw, so we'll get that out of the way. So I showed up, and we sat there and talked and hung out. We did end up kissing, watching some TV, and we spent quite a bit of time there. That wasn't the bad part. We decided to go to a restaurant called Jim's, which is like IHOP, and we sit down and we start ordering and talking and things like that. And everything's going good. And then she asked for tea and I asked for coffee. We sit down and she goes to tear the sweet and low. But instead of doing this, she uses her teeth. And it kind of caught me off guard. So I'm like, why? And right as soon as I said why, it caught my eye. She had a prosthetic arm and it just threw me for a loop. Here's the problem. When we were back at the apartment, that arm was in my lap, and I actually commented on her bracelet, never noticed at all. I felt so awkward when I discovered this. And yeah, so the date ended on an awkward note, and yeah.
This doesn't even
So what you're
surprise
saying,
me, though. Yeah, go ahead, Nick.
What?
So really what you're saying, John, is you're super ableist. No?
Yes.
What I was going to say is, wow, John is shallow. Oh my gosh. Not only did you not notice that the arm was fake, that's why you didn't go out again? Because she rips.
I didn't say that. I said
Low
the
with
date
fake
ended up
personality.
awkward because I didn't notice the whole time, and now it was blatantly obvious that I was like, but it was never.
He gives the date one arm out of two. Okay, you can blame the guy for it.
Come on, Nick, lend me a hand here. Help me out.
I'm sorry.
I think she already had a hand. I mean, it was just sitting there.
Right? Oh my god. Yeah, that I think that qualifies as a bad date for her. Maybe she's like, he seemed really nice, and then like got super weird as soon as he noticed my arm.
Or that I opened sugar with my teeth. That's the thing that killed me. It's like, who opens sugar with their teeth?
Yeah, I
don't know.
I was really observant back then. So Nick, before the show, you were sharing your story, and I wish you wouldn't have because, man, that's a good one. But
you can share it again.
Yours is a little dangerous. So
Yeah.
why don't you share us?
Yeah, for sure. So way back in yesteryear, it's like long ago in the world of 2014-15, roughly. Nick went on an adventure to Asia after having way too much fun at Burning Man. And I was with a woman at the time who, I don't think there are bad people. I just think there are bad fits, maybe. No, I can't lie. This was just not a good arrangement whatsoever. But I'm young and certainly extremely dumb, and went along with this relationship for far too long, and it was bad for both of us. We're in the middle of Southeast Asia, and I think it was probably the Philippines, and we get into a fight, and it's kind of just one of those big fights. And I mean, for me, fighting is being a healthy, grounded person and talking about our differences, and being listening to the emotions and having what I would consider logical conversations. Her version of arguing is kind of just like going in for the kill, physically as well as emotionally. And so we were drinking quite heavily, and she specifically was especially trashed. And she got to the point where she hit me in the head with a bottle, and then as I'm like pulling myself off the ground here, she's going down to every cab driver she can find and offering them $200 to shoot me.
What?
So fortunately, as fortunately in the Philippines, aside from security guards, which honestly, if she wasn't drunk, she probably would have gone to them. So the only thing I saw people who were armed were people who were guarding banks and stuff like that. Shotguns on every corner type deal. So I don't know if that was supposed to make me feel safer traveling in their country, but I definitely felt inclined to feel very, very uncomfortable in there. Fortunately, nothing happened, and most people just laughed at us. However, surprise, surprise, nobody got married, and the relationship did not last very long afterwards. In fact, we
did it last a week longer or more?
Well, we were sharing a hotel room, so we kind of paid the money and wanted to make sure we settled up on that first. But that being said,
but there's still a bounty on your
this
head, right? I mean, what happened the next morning?
Wait a second, I can collect on this?
Listen, guys, Netflix will greenlight anything, so the movie is going to come out in a few months. But that did inevitably lead to a brief career in fire dancing on beach bars in the Philippines while I killed time. So,
nope, jump back.
Yeah.
What?
Yeah, that's a different podcast, though. I just got to leave you with a little bit of tidbit from
Wow. But I think what I'm really curious about now, because you mentioned like your style of what it means to argue and hers. Can we just say in a totally practical way that hers is maybe more effective? I mean, yay for the feelings and everything, but
I mean, like it depends how you define winning an argument, right? If it's
the one that walks away.
The one that walks away. Fair enough. In that context, yeah, no, definitely she came out with the upper hand on that one. But it's kind of one of those my hands are tied, right? I look like the bad guy if I'm if I throw any blows, so I kind of just gotta take it for what it is. That being said, if your goal in an argument is to just beat the other person into submission, sure, okay. But if you're about like I said, balance and living a healthy, hopefully very long life, then I would argue I have the superior.
Yeah,
I'm just saying it's.
I think the idea of dating is to find somebody that you love and that you value, but as soon as you're like trying to kill them, it seems like it's a clear sign here. We're not compatible.
Right? Like, I mean, I think, yeah, you just get caught up emotionally with people and you get attached to those individuals, and it becomes difficult to cut the knot sometimes, even when it isn't working, because you have these attachments that build. And I feel like that was, something that was good that went on past its expiry date, and now it was just sitting in the fridge building mold until it hit me over the head with a bottle.
Well, I hadn't really thought about it, and it's definitely not a date, but when I was in, I think it was like 5th or 6th grade, I had a nemesis, and I don't know if she liked me or hated me, but I can say, and I doubt you could see it on the video, but she would just run up to me and start trying to stab me with a pencil. Like legit, like I still
definitely like
have,
yeah, I would say so.
Let's see.
Right?
Anyway, there's like a dark spot in my thumb right here. That's lead. That's pencil lead. Also have it.
Lots of couples get matching tattoos. It's a thing.
Man, and I didn't know what to do. I'm like, you're literally trying to stab me, but she was a girl, so I'm thinking I shouldn't just punch her in the mouth for it. That was weird.
Came home and it's like, Mom, I think I have a girlfriend. Like,
Or lead
She branded
poisoning.
me.
One of the two.
right?
I mean, that was
One of the two. I feel woozy.
That was like legit
Wait,
like 27 years ago, and it's still there. Anyway,
I feel kind of lucky. I never got attacked by any of the girls. Never mind. Never mind. I think I just remembered one. Never mind. I'm right there with y'all. Barb, are you
it's
crazy like that? Have you tried to
Come
kill
on.
somebody other than your husband?
surely you've stabbed
I would
at
have done
least
it
one.
myself.
Some.
That's the thing. No, you know what? The thing is, I got married at 20, and we met in a band, and I was the only woman in the band, and most of them, for the longest time, didn't think that I was of age. And so, like, jailbait was my identifying, like, I always felt...
That was your defining trait.
Yeah, seriously. We went
Hey,
to...
this is Barb. She's
jailbait. Don't touch. Yeah, exactly. And so we played in this band together, and we were traveled down to Reno. And I remember, I look back, I'm like, I was 16 traveling with this group of 20-somethings down to
So
Reno.
you were jailbait.
And,
then.
oh, yeah.
Yeah,
No,
this started out,
legit.
you were 20, now you're 16.
I know, I
What's
got
going on
married
here?
when I was 20.
Oh,
I started playing in the college band when I was 16. And, yeah, my mom told me, she's like, the only 2 words you have to remember this whole trip, jail, bait. Okay. No, but I didn't. So my now husband didn't think that I was legal for a long time. And so I don't know that I don't really have any date stories. He was.
So you never stabbed him?
first
Not
person
even
I-
once?
okay,
Not
there was
even
one
once.
thing with eggs. There
Here
was
it
one thing
comes.
with eggs, but it wasn't on a date. And I feel like you totally had it coming.
Yeah, that's what a
hmm.
female would say.
Well, Alton called his thing a date, and it sounded like it was at school, so.
Okay, this was in our kitchen then. And in my defense, he had smashed every egg in my refrigerator. Okay. And so I took.
Well, that
Is that a
clearly
dirty
warrants
pun?
retaliation.
I'm saying, and so I'm not very proud of this. Wow, yeah, I did scoop the eggs up and like smear it on his head,
Yes.
and then he proceeded to go around and smear it on the floor. Can I just say that this was an odd moment in our life?
No, this is
It
the
has not been like
defining
that.
thing, Barbara, for sure.
Okay.
This is makes or breaks the
Yeah.
marriage.
Well, it seems to have made it. We've 17 years now, so
Right?
Wow.
If
The
you can
egg-
survive eggs, then you can survive anything. That's
And
what,
I honestly, yeah.
Everybody knows that old adage. Right?
exactly. If you can survive a hitman and eggs, then you're good.
Right? If
All
you
right,
can
Nick.
dodge an egg, you can
There you
survive
go.
a marriage. Right?
Dip,
Apparently, you
duck,
don't even
All
have to
right,
dodge
dodge,
it.
and
I
dodge.
know you have another one, so start coming up with the next one. I had another one back in the day when I was back in high school. Me and my friend, we were going to go on a double date, and he had one of the hottest girls in school that finally wanted to go out with him, and he got the courage to ask her out. Her name's Lindsay, and if you're a high school graduate with me, you know exactly who Lindsay is. And so we went on this double date. We're going into the movie, we're walking down, and he's in front. He stops and lets all of us get in our seats first. And his girl, Lindsay, went first, followed by my girl and then me. And instead of climbing over us, he sat next to me. I was like, what on earth are you doing? And he's like, I don't know, man. I screwed up. I don't know what to do now. I was like, stand up, walk over there. He's like, okay. And then he paused. And then he was like, no, it's too late. It'd be awkward. And I'm like, no, it's awkward that you're sitting next to
Choke.
me in the movie theater.
Choked.
He absolutely lost it. They never ended up getting together, and people made fun of him because of that,
Brutal.
unfortunately.
Yeah, see, that's
this
where
day.
I wasn't smart
Yeah.
enough to figure that out. When I landed Heather, like, she's smoking hot, and I had nothing to offer, but I didn't realize that, so I'm just like, of course she likes me. Duh. I'm a catch.
Oh.
Yeah,
Why wouldn't she? Who
it's
doesn't?
obvious, isn't it?
That's funny.
All right, hit me, Nick.
You know what? Like, to be honest, that specific individual aside, I would say that my dating history has been pretty normal, pretty healthy. But I will put this story out there. It's not quite a date, but still kind of led to some frustration in high school for certain. So there was this girl that at the time I liked a fair amount, and I asked her out, and she said yes. And basically a week after we quote unquote became official, she comes out and she says, you know, I'm actually gay and I'm a lesbian and I can't do this, which is totally fine. Nothing wrong with that, right? And I'm totally understanding about the whole thing. But of course, the high school circuit catches wind of this, and the next thing you know, I'm the guy that turns girls.
Yeah.
Right? And I was like, great, this one's gonna follow me for the remainder of my, you know, there's no getting out of this till grad class, you know.
That's funny.
Oh, that sucks.
Yeah, but she was a lovely girl though. But honestly, you know, that really, I feel like I crammed like a generation of band-aids into just one shitty relationship. Pardon my French. You know, and that is just one story in an entire ensemble of what is probably one of the major life regrets I have. But yeah, yeah,
I
largely a healthy love life though. Now I'm very happily, I got a nice partner, you know, good life, great dog, you know, couldn't be happy. Figured it out eventually.
Totally. Let me throw Heather under the bus here. I've forgotten about this. Yeah, there's this one time where we were in high school still, and like it's during the passing period, and I'm getting into my locker trying to figure out which way's up, and she runs over and like tries to give me a kiss, and we're like in the middle of high school, and I'm thinking like, you know, I got to make sure the teachers are watching or whatever. Like I'm a little paranoid about this. Anyway, bam, she gives me this huge kiss, and then snickers, and then starts running off because it's fixing to be class time, and I'm like,
Oh, she had
that was
lipstick
cool,
on.
you know. Yeah, look at me, you know. She just had to come over here and give me this kiss. Well, it turns out she had like lidocaine all over her lips, and so like after she runs off, all of a sudden like my whole lips are going numb now, and I was just like, man, felt so deceived. I was so mad. I'm like,
Just played
man, I thought I was just doing so good. This hot girl's running up. She just got to smooch me before she has to go and suffer in this class. No, joke's on me.
No.
Yeah,
Oh, man.
still dealing with
I love your
the
wife. Oh my goodness.
emotion on that one.
The emotional trauma. Yeah.
Trust issues. Sheesh. That's funny.
So that's why y'all very rarely kiss now.
Man, she tried to get me today with some lipstick on. I'm like, and Taylor,
Trust
not
but
my
verify.
fetish.
Taylor's like, what's the problem? And I'm like, don't you see that red lipstick? And she's like, yeah. And then she goes, you know, Dad, Hitler didn't like red lipstick. And I'm like, what's that supposed to mean? Yeah, this is a normal day in my house, guys. So you understand why I'm crazy.
Do you know Godwin's law? I think Godwin's law is, yes. The longer a conversation goes on, the higher the probability someone will relate the conversation back to the Nazis.
That's true. Not bad.
Right?
I bet Hitler had a
I just-
lot of
every
lousy
time it-
dates.
Right? Probably half. I feel like he would just scream at them in German.
Oh, man. Okay, my humor's turning dark. I'm going to be quiet.
All right. Backpedal.
So Barb, nothing less from you. Nothing else that you did to your husband.
Can they be dates after you're married? Does that count?
I mean, there has to be something like you stunk up the bathroom right before he came over.
No.
He gagged, threw up. There's got to be something.
I think I did have the flu in front of him once. No, probably my most, like, we didn't, this will just amaze you. We didn't get out much, right? Like, we didn't go out on a lot of dates after we got married. So, I was pregnant with my second, and I had this thing, there's a medical term for it. I think they call it hyperemesis. It's like you cannot stop vomiting no matter what. Like, you'll suck on ice cubes and you're like, ugh. So kind of had that. And we got a babysitter, and we're like, we're going to go to the movies. And something about the movie, we ended up walking out early on. I don't even remember what the trigger was, but we're like, okay, we'll just go to a restaurant. It was something like a Denny's, but it was really empty at that time of night, right? And I tried like one bite of the food, and you can feel it happening, right? Like, oh my goodness, this is going to go badly. And so you book it to the bathroom. Nobody there, didn't quite make it, as it were, like all over the floor. And the thing is, there's like nobody in the restaurant, right? And so right after I leave and the girl goes in to clean it, you're like, you know who it is. It's the one that just walked out, like the fat woman that just vomited all over the floor.
But you're still like, no, I was the other guy.
Basically, I'm like, somebody left a thing on the. Yeah, don't get the shrimp.
There's a safe face. Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh my god, that is pretty bad.
It was pretty, but we left early before. Yeah, maybe that's why we don't go out much. I can't be.
He
taken
lost
in
trust
public.
in you really quick.
She's
Huh?
just gonna barf
Let
Eggs
it
everywhere.
and
came
vomit.
lipstick.
Stay away from this girl.
Nice.
All right, guys. That was Dates Gone Bad. Thank you for tuning in. Maybe we'll be able to do this again. I think it was fun to hear.
I don't know if we
Austin's
should
already
air
shaking
this
his head.
This is why we have that clause, right? Yeah, we don't have to put that out.
All right, guys, make sure you click like and subscribe to our channel. Make sure you follow us on social media. We have a lot of stuff going out there. Also, check out our website because we post things on there, such as Barb being on other podcasts. So make sure you check us out and enjoy. And we will see you on the next extra. And make sure, don't forget to check out Nick on our normal podcast as well. So, guys, say bye.
Bye.
This has been another episode of the Deciding Factor Extra, giving you food for thought on real-life issues. Be sure to click, like, and subscribe to this podcast, as well as all your big social media outlets, Facebook, YouTube, and Twitter. Don't forget to check out our website, thedecidingfactorpodcast.com, and give us comments and feedback. Until next time, stay safe and keep an open mind.